Hello, my wonderful friends. How are we? My name is Sarsana if you're new, and in this vlog, we are going to be unhauling like 50 some books. If you haven't watched my video, it's like 2 videos ago, and it was when I hauled about 50-ish books. And I need to purge my bookshelves. Like, I've had books on my shelves that I bought when I started to read about like 2-3 years ago, and I wasn't really vlogging like that at the time. I didn't create a YouTube or a bookstagram or anything like that, and I was just like reading because I wanted to read, and I did not what I liked, and I bought some books that I've outgrown or have just been sitting on my shelves for a long time, or there are books here that I'm not really into. Like, I read them and I did not like them, so it's time to get rid of them and give them a better home. And there are also some in here that are like damaged copies from Amazon and Fairy Loot. I just need to get rid of these books. They've been sitting on my shelf collecting dust. I've purchased a lot more books. I don't have space for them on my shelf. My TBR cart is about to break down because there's so many books on there, and there's no organization to it. And at this point of time, I know that I need to like clean up and get rid of some books that I don't need. So it is time to say au revoir. So I am going to be getting rid of all of my paperback copies of From Blood and Ash series and Flesh and Fire. So the first 2 books I have in the Flesh and Fire series is A Shadow in the Ember and A Light in the Dark, or Light in the Flame. A Light in the Flame. I did purchase these copies in hardback. I don't like when I'm reading them, they like look like this, and it just kind of pisses me off. This is before I learned how to spine train my books. I don't really need 2 copies of the same books, whether it's paperback or hardback. The only series that I have like duplicate copies for is Crescent City and Throne of Glass. I still have to get the hardbacks, special editions for ACOTAR. However, I'm waiting till the new ACOTAR book comes out so I can like get a box set of that, but that's near here nor there. And then for the From Blood and Ash series, I have the first book, From Blood and Ash, and then A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, The Crown of Gilded Bones, and A War of Two Queens. I really love this series, and I stopped reading it because I was tired of having to wait like a year or 2 to get the next book in the series, and I also didn't like having to jump from Blood and Ash to A Flesh and Fire, kind of be like in the past but then in the present kind of thing. I want to read A Flesh and Fire series first, and then I want to get into From Blood and Ash just so I can make the connections that way. It just makes sense in my brain. I probably should look at the reading order suggested by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you guys have read it in a different order, please let me know. I'd love to hear how you prefer your reading method for this series. I have all of the books from Flesh and Fire and From Blood and Ash, like whatever is out right now, but I just don't want to pick it up until the series is completed. I just hate being traumatized by books and left on cliffhangers and having to like suffer for a year or 2 until the next book comes out. I'm just too impatient for that, so I'm gonna have to wait until both series are completed. And then next I have like a damaged copy from Amazon, because we all know Amazon is so amazing at delivering our books safely to us. This is the first book in the Psycho Shifter series. I think that's what it's called, Shifterverse or something. This is book 1. This is by Jasmine Moss, and if you can see up here, they like totally bent the hell out of this book. If you know me, if you've been watching my videos for the past year or so, you know that I am a perfectionist, and it really bothers me when my books come like this. Like, if I did this to one of my books myself, then that would be one story, but it came like this, and I am not paying money for a book to come to me in a damaged state when I bought it new. Like, it's not even used. So this book is on my TBR. They gave me a replacement, and I'm really excited to read this series and get into the Jasmine Moss Shifterverse universe. I think it's like reverse harem maybe, or white shoes, one of those, I think. But I love dark academic books that have werewolves, vampires, and all that stuff. I just love dark academia books, so this is like right up my alley. I'm really excited to start this, and I did vlog this next book. If you want to watch it and watch my reactions, it's my holiday romance reading vlog that I did in December. I read this book and I was thoroughly disappointed. The cover is beautiful and it is extremely thick. This is by Megan Quinn, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, and it is about like 500 pages. There's some like cutesy artwork and stuff on the inside. It is in perfect condition, but you know, like I was so bored with this. I think I gave this like a 2-star. It was so cringy. I'm not going to get into that right now because we have so many more books to get through, but if you do want to watch my reaction to reading this, please go watch my holiday romance reading vlog and you'll be able to see all my reactions. But this, no. And then we have another Amazon mishap. So this is the 3rd book in the Bonds That Tie series, and it came all like yucky, and there's like a little bit of like an imperfection right here. It's like a little bent. Maybe my ring light will be able to show you better. Like I said, I'm not paying for a new book to get like a damaged book. It just doesn't make sense, and I was disappointed by the delivery of Amazon. You guys, this book has been sitting on my shelves for I think like 3 to 4 years. It's been way too long and I have not picked it up, so it's time for me to unhaul it, because if I haven't gotten to it yet, I highly doubt that I will. There are more books on my shelves that are more of an anticipated read for me than this one, and I know it's just going to keep getting shoved lower and lower in my TBR list, so it's time to say goodbye. So this is the Ash Princess series by Laura Sebastian. I think this is like a YA book. I guess this is about like a princess trying to reclaim her throne. Her kingdom is getting enslaved and she finds a way to, I guess, rise up and become the princess that she's meant to be. I'm just not interested in reading it, and I have been moving away from reading YA as well. It's time to say goodbye. It's been on my shelves for way too long. And this is the 2nd book in that series. It's called Ember Queen by Laura Sebastian. Again, it's been sitting on my shelves for way too long and it's time to say goodbye to it. It's a beautiful cover though. We have Sin and Chocolate and Sin and Magic by K.F. Breen. I don't even remember what the series is about. I don't have any interest in reading it. This one is like glossy and this one is matted, so I don't know what is up with that, but that also kind of bothers me. But these are in like perfect condition. I've had them sitting on my shelves for like 3 or 4 years, about the same time as Ash Princess, so it's just time to say goodbye. I don't even know what this is about. There's like magic in San Francisco. Someone is trying to find the spirit of their mother or something like that. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm so sorry to say stuff like that because every book has its place in someone's heart for whatever reason, but like this just doesn't interest me. So if you take any offense to anything I'm saying right now, I apologize in advance, but it's just not for me. If it is for you, then I'm really happy to hear that, but this just wasn't for me. I read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I've heard really good things about this author and I was really excited to start a book by him, but this book thoroughly disappointed me. I could not care less. The way this book ended was so silly to me. I did not enjoy it. I just thought it was super silly, and the whole plot of it, like the beginning and the middle, was super interesting, gripped me right away, but the way that this book ended, it just like ruined the entire book for me. So I'm gonna be saying goodbye to this. I don't know if I even want to pick up another book by Riley Sager because this just really disappointed me. A lot of you may come for me for unhauling this. Just know that I gave it my best shot. I tried to get into this, but I just could not. It gave me the ick. After I saw what I saw, I couldn't unsee it, and that's all I kept thinking about throughout the entire book, and that is Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. I know a lot of dark romance girlies loved this book, and I love a good dark romance, don't get me wrong. Stepbrother, stepsister, when your stepbrother calls you his little sister while he's trying to do things to you, ugh, couldn't do it. I could not do it. It's just icky to me. I couldn't do it, and I think that trope just isn't for me, and this definitely wasn't for me. I have no interest whatsoever to read the 2nd book either. I can't do it. So we have another Amazon mishap, The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is like in okay condition, but like over here there's like a little bit of imperfection, and like down here as well. I literally saw the Amazon person like throw this on my porch through our camera. I was so pissed off. I can't even tell you. that's a different conversation for another day, but it's like, it's your job to deliver things. Why the hell would you throw whatever packaging you're delivering? It makes me so upset that Amazon has like the best deals ever to buy books, but at the same time, they come up short when it comes to actually giving us our copies. We have a few more Amazon mishaps, bear with me. And I got the Promise Me Not series by Megan Brandy. I do still have to read Say You Swear, but I had a feeling I was going to love it. So I did get Promise Me Not, but the replacement and the original delivery were damaged. Like this one has like a little rip up here and it's completely discombobulated here. And then this one is basically the same thing. And it's like torn. So disappointing. At this point, I'm just going to get my copy of Promise Me Not from Barnes & Nobles because I know it won't look like that. And then there's another Amazon mishap, and it is for the Darkverse series. It's a little bent up here, and then they like threw the book over here. So this is the 5th book, The Not Later, in the Darkverse series. It's like an interconnected romance, I think, and I'm so pumped to read it. I think I'm gonna like vlog the whole thing and read this entire series. This next book I received from Fairy Loot, and it was in like my monthly box. I wish that they had an option to skip that month's box because I'm getting some books that I'm just like not interested in. This book I'm definitely not going to be reading, so I am unhauling this. It is titled Sorcery and Small Magic by Micah Ducey. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it. In the back it says, "Will you look for me? Each glimpse a beckon calling from within. Listen for me until the ringing of my voice becomes your only song. Hold my name in your bones until every wish need not be spoken." Sounds cute, but I just don't really care for it. I know I'm not gonna read it. I know I'm just going to have it sitting on my shelves, but it's a beautiful book. It has a reversible dust jacket. The hardback is also super beautiful. This is the inside cover. This is like the reversible dust jacket. It's beautiful. And then we have the naked hardback is also beautiful. It has like a metallic sheen to it and it's super gorgeous. And like the sprayed edges are also beautiful. And on the inside, we have beautiful artwork. He's gorgeous. And I think it's also signed, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it is. Yep. So we have like a little letter from the author and it's signed down here. So this book I did get from Fairy Loot. I did purchase it because I have the first book. I think it's just the dust jacket that's damaged. So this is Drown Me with Dreams by Gabby Burton. The book is stunning. This is like the naked hardback. This is the sprayed edges. And on the inside, we also have beautiful artwork. It's not a reversible dust jacket, but it is a wonderful copy. They sent me another one. They were very gracious with that. So I am just going to be keeping that one. And it is also signed by Gabby Burton. So it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, it got scratched, I guess, but it's like textured now here, but the rest of it is in good condition. But I'm not paying for something full price if it's going to come to me damaged. Okay, so I read The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo and I DNF'd it. I could not get back into it. I don't know what it is about this book, or maybe it's the writing. I don't know. I've tried really hard to get into it. I think I read this like 2 or 3 times just to try to get into it. I tried reading it physically. I tried listening to the audiobook. I tried reading it on my Kindle, and I just wasn't able to get into it. Every time I got into it, my mind started drifting to other things and I just couldn't focus. I want to be immersed into a book. I want to be teleported into that world and not think about my daily life things, and this book just wasn't doing it for me. So I have to get rid of this one. It's in perfect condition with the black sprayed edges. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I really wanted to love it, but just couldn't do it. And it's basically the same story with The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. I did read this entire book. I should have DNF'd it. I think I gave it like a 1 or 2 stars. It was awful for me. I just couldn't get into it. I kept waiting for it to get better and better, and it didn't. I have no interest in reading the second book, unfortunately. But this cover is beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I love this copy, and it comes with the prettiest sprayed edges. And like the whole concept of this story is beautiful, but it just fell short. I wonder if this is a YA, because it felt very YA. And then we have The Lady of Darkness. This is the first book in the Lady of Darkness series. It's actually not in the worst condition. Why the hell did I ask for a replacement? I don't even know, you guys. I'd be crazy sometimes. Okay, so maybe it's this. So like, it's like a little lifted up here, if you guys can see that. And that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm so annoying. I can't stand myself sometimes. But yeah, this series is one of my absolute favorite God tier series. I have all 5 of them. I've finished the entire series and the novellas, and it's just chef's kiss. I can't wait to read the Legacy series, but that's for another time. And this is in the same series, in the Lady of Darkness series. This is 4.5. It's a little novella. Like, it's super tiny babyish. It's like a little lifted up here, and then what is it, and then like a little bit right here. And then this is the first book in the Legacy series. This is another Amazon mishap, why I'm unhauling it. But if you guys can see right here, this entire book cover was completely folded over, and I was so mad. If it was like, and like it looks like they like tried to like make an airplane out of it. Like, it's folded here and it's folded here, and it like crisscrosses over here, and then it was like slam dunked over here, so it's like super damaged. I was very upset. I can't even tell you, when I saw this book I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what did they do to it? This is the 3rd book in the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roerich. It's called Tempest of Wrath and Vengeance. I can't wait to read this series. I'm so excited. We have another Amazon mishap, surprise, surprise. This is The False Start by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the Gold Rush Rant series. This is like the OG covers. I don't know if they're still available or not, but I had purchased them when I heard that they were going to be discontinued and they were going to be coming out with new covers. I don't really like the new covers. I like these a lot more. The artwork is just beautiful. So I wanted these covers and I got all of them, but this one came a little damaged. It's like a little nick down here, but other than that, it's fine. This cover is so beautiful. I wish that they didn't update the covers. It seems like every book is getting a second cover or something. And then we have the Shepherd King duology. This is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. This is one of my absolute favorite series. I love this duology so much, and the fact that it's a duology instead of like a 5-6 book series is also awesome. This has political intrigue, dark, creepy vibes, crazy magic, a very unique magic system, a very unique world, epic love story, and it's just everything. It gave everything. If you're like going to read this, you should definitely read this. These are in perfect condition. There's nothing wrong with them. My camera is cutting it off, but like this top shelf up here, it has my, I'll just show you. 1 second. This is my One Dark Window copy. This is from Barnes & Nobles. It weighs a shit ton. I don't know why this book is so fucking heavy, but like it is, and it's gorgeous. The paper quality is so good. This is Two Twisted Crowns. It is stunning, 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 stunning. After I got these copies, I was like, I don't really need 2 different copies of One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, so I just replaced them. I love this series so much, and I want other people to be able to read it. Maybe I'll just give these away in a giveaway or something like that, because this is an amazing series. They need a home where they're going to be loved. So I have this other YA series that I read the first book, and then I was like, it was okay. I don't really care to read the second book after a while. Like, after I read this book, I was like, oh, seems interesting. Maybe I'll read the second book. And then like time went on, and I was like, I'm not reading it. I'm not going to be reading it. So this is the Daughter of the Pirate King and, right? Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. So she's like a siren or something, I'm guessing, in this one, because she's like a pirate in this one. It's super YA. I am just moving away from YA books. I'm not really into them anymore. But I think these are like the original covers or something. I don't know if these are still out. Like, they came out with special editions, and I don't really know what's going on with this series. I don't really care to keep up with it. But yeah, these are going to be finding a new home as well. I wanted to love this series so badly. I wanted to read it so badly, and I read the first book a little bit and I DNF'd it, and that is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. I wanted to like this book so badly, but I was so bored. I hate that I couldn't get into it, but it's just super YA for me. I just could not care enough for the plot of this story. I could not care enough about the character. I just felt so disconnected from the story and the characters. I think 30% I put it down, and I was like, maybe it's like a soft DNF, but like as time went on, I was like, I'm not going to be picking this up. It doesn't make any sense for me to force myself to read something that I just don't care for. So I am also going to be getting rid of the second book. I have this in hardback. It is We Free the Stars by Hafsa Faisal. So I don't know why I have a hardback in this and I have a paperback in this. Doesn't make sense because I don't usually do that. This is going to be finding a new home as well. And then we have The Witch Haven by Sasha Peyton Smith. I don't know what this is about. I'm guessing this is like a witchy academic book. This book has been sitting on my shelves for way too long and I just don't care enough to pick it up. So this is going to be finding a new home. It sounds cool and the cover is beautiful, but I also think it's like YA and I just don't care to pick it up. In the back it says Hexa Haven Academy Rules for Young Witches. 1, mind your instructions. No unsupervised spell work. Don't leave after dark. It's been sitting on my shelves for 3 years and it's just time to get rid of the books that's on my shelves. If it's been sitting on there for 3 years, that's me telling myself something without even knowing it. This cover is stunning and I wanted to read it so badly, but I just don't care to. I heard that the second book isn't very well loved and I don't want to go into it reading the first one, loving it, and then reading the second one and not loving it. And honestly, just don't really care to invest my time in this. I don't know why. I just don't feel like reading it. It's beautiful. It's Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan. I don't know, you guys. I don't even know why I don't. Like, I've tried to unhaul this I think like 2 or 3 times already, and every time I just kept pulling it back and I was like, maybe I'll read it again. Like, maybe I'll read it later. Maybe I'll read it later. 3 years later, I still don't want to read it, and read it or unhaul it. This is also YA. It's House of Salt and Sorrow. Who's this by? Erin A. Craig. This is about like a girl and her sisters or something like that. Are they like mermaids or something? I don't know. I just don't care to read it. I don't even know what this is about. I just don't see any point in forcing myself to read this when I don't want to read it. It looks cute though. And then we have another one here by Adeline Grace, All the Stars and Teeth. I don't really care to read this. I don't know why, but I just don't feel like it. I think I got this like 4 years ago. I just couldn't get into it and I kept putting it off for later and later, and it's just one of those books that's just been sitting there that I promised myself that I would read later. Now it's later and it's time to unhaul it. In the back, I'm just gonna read you guys what it says. It says, she will reign as princess of the island kingdom Visidia Amora Montara has spent her entire life training to be High Animancer, the master of souls. The rest of the realm can choose their magic, but for Amora, it's never been a choice. To secure her place as heir to the throne, she must prove her mastery of the monarchy's dangerous soul magic. When her demonstration goes awry, Amora is forced to flee. She strikes a deal with Bastian, a mysterious pirate. He'll help her prove she's fit to rule if she'll help him reclaim his stolen magic. But sailing the kingdom holds more wonder and more peril than Amora anticipated. A destructive new magic is on the rise, and if Amora is to conquer it, she'll need to face legendary monsters, cross paths with vengeful mermaids, and deal with a stowaway she never expected, or risk the fate of Visidia and lose the crown forever. Yeah, no. I feel like I've read so many fantasy romance books that have the same concept, and at this point I need something different and I don't care to read this anymore. This one is Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match. This is by Sally Thorne. I don't really care to read this. I tried like twice. I tried. I couldn't get into it. It's super YA. It just seems intriguing, like Frankenstein. I love a good Frankenstein story, but for whatever reason, I just could not get into this. Every time she talked about certain things, I get grossed out. I don't know why. I just got grossed out and I just couldn't get into it. Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. Who's this by? By Shay Earnshaw. This is a beautiful cover and it seems super interesting. I love The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I couldn't get into this. I don't know why. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Super YA, super YA, and I feel like there's a theme here. I am growing out of YA books. This might be a better read for somebody else, and it's better for me to unhaul it than just let it collect dust. And then I have like a series here. I don't even know what the series is called. A Truly Devious series? Is that what it is? I think so. So I don't even know what order these go in. This is The Hand on the Wall. Then we have The Vanishing Star. And then we have Truly Devious. This is by Maureen Johnson. This I think this is like a witchy kind of book. They've been sitting on my shelves for like 3 years as well, and it's just time to give them a better home. It's not fair. I feel bad for like all of these books. I've unhauled so many. Who knows, in a few months I might be unhauling more because it's getting real crowded over here. I need to make more room for new books. If you guys made it to the end of this vlog, just know that I love you so much. Thank you for sticking around to watch me unhaul all of these books. If you are interested in getting your hands on any of these books, I am going to be putting them up on my Pango. I need to get rid of them somehow and I don't really know how. I might be donating some of these or asking friends if they're interested in any of these copies. I'm going to be linking my Pango profile down below in the descriptions. Feel free to go ahead and take a look through it and message me on Pango as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.